Anyway, so I used that, and then I also, for the face, I used some cream products on the face. I used the I can't find anything. Hey guys, it's Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos where I try out makeup that is new to me, or just needs a little bit more love in my collection. So today I have some of the pieces, finally, of the e.l.f. Cookies and Dream collection. Now, if you saw my last video on my channel, the one where I apply the Viseart Lapis and the Petit Pro Un palette, there's a little bit of a saga with this palette. Well, not really a saga. It came broken. So I picked up a bunch of stuff when this launched. Actually, I'm part of their like rewards program, their beauty squad, so you could pick this up a day before it was released to the public. So I picked all this stuff up on their website, and it came in this beautiful box, and I opened up the box and eyeshadow everywhere. But the things that I was able to salvage were the Cookies and Dream Cookie Crumble Exfoliator, lip exfoliator, the Cookies and Dream eyeshadow brushes, the eyeshadow brush set, which comes with 3 eye brushes, the sponge. There's no sponge in here, it's wet and over there. I will show you that later in the video, but there it came with a face sponge, and then just the cream putty primer, which I have also used today. Comes in this cute little packaging. You'll see more as I apply these on my face. So I got all those things, and then I had also picked up the palette. And the palette, well, she's still sitting right here, and she's still not pretty, but so this is how my first palette came. Yeah, so luckily, I emailed customer service right away. They got back to me within 5 minutes, I would say. And I explained that I got a broken palette. I could send them pictures if they want. They didn't want pictures. They just said, we will send you, let us know if you want a credit or if you want a new one. I said I would like a new one, so they sent it out. Took about, 5 days or so to get to me, but it got here. It's not broken. I can use this one. This one, I mean, yeah, so yeah. But it's here, and I have swatched it, and it is, it's really nice and creamy. I think part of the problem is that these shadows are very soft, very soft. These types of shadows from the drugstore that are very blue and pigmented typically are very dry and hard to apply. I find that with a lot of these deep blue type shades right here, they're very difficult to apply and you don't get much payoff. These you do get payoff. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of pigmentation on my eyes using the shimmers and the mattes. So I think that is the issue, and also just shipping is crazy right now, and things are getting thrown around and smashed, and I'm not even mad about it because I know life is just weird right now, and it must be a nightmare to have to work for any shipping company. So not mad, got it replaced. It's fine, and it's, a nice palette. So I thought I would just compare this with a couple of their bite-sized palettes. So this is 8 pans, and so if you know the Mint Melt collection that came out last year, or the year, whatever it is now, the collection that came out in the new year before this one, that was 2 4-pan bite-sized palettes. So they look like this. And so these are basically the same, except the ones in the Cookies and Dream are a little bit wider. They're the same length, So they're the same length, it's just that these shadows in the bite size are a little bit narrower. So I think you are getting more product. I don't know how deep the pans are, but it seems like these ones are just narrower and these ones are like full square size. So I don't know, I like that they kind of switched it up a little bit. I would have liked to see like 2 more bite size, just because I'm a weirdo person that needs all of my palettes to look the same. But I like the fact that they maybe were thinking about making these 2 bite size and then said, hey, let's do something different and just do an 8 pan. So I mean, it works. And I probably would have bought, if they'd have broken this up into 2 palettes, I probably would have just bought this one and left this one. So I mean, it makes sense. And if you saw the Mint Melt collection, this one is the all green, and then there's one that has pretty much 3 browns and 1 green. So it kind of makes sense the way they did this. They knew they were going to have a palette of a lot of browns, so they just went for it and did an 8 pan. But similar type plastic packaging. This one, I mean, it's both pretty pastel colors for the new year. This one has a little bit more rounder edges than the bite size Mint Melt ones. The Mint Melt ones are exactly the same as the regular bite size, they just have the green packaging. So I will post some swatches that I did from earlier of this palette under a ring light, my little baby selfie ring light. I used I think I said at the end of the video that I used all the shades in this palette. I didn't use all the shades in the palette. I used olive shades except for the light blue matte, and I have used the light blue matte in a separate look, just trying these shadows out. So I've used this palette once before and I've swatched it. This is the second time I've done a look with it. So didn't quite use all of the shades, but I have eventually used all of them now on my eyes. So there we go. Anyway, if you want to see how I got this look and how the pigmentation on this palette pans out, just keep watching. Hi guys, extreme close-up once again. So we are going to start with the Cookies and Dream collection from e.l.f. today. So if you watched my last video, you know my little saga with this little palette right here. Took a little while to get to me, but she's finally here and in one piece. So what can I say? Let's get to this video. So I'm going to be starting with a few different things. I'm going to be starting with the e.l.f. Cookies and Dream, what is this called? Just the Cream Putty Primer. I really do love the Putty Primer, especially the one with salicylic acid in it. I do feel like that does keep me from breaking out around here. And so this is the one I got in my first order. So if you can see, there is still some blue shadow all over it, but it has like a, an Oreo style packaging to it. And then the primer itself is just like a clear, well, not even really clear, just a putty white. And it does, I haven't really dipped into this, but it does have somewhat of a scent. I don't know if it gets more scented as you get into it, but it's not like Physicians Formula butter bronzer. Like, I don't know, it just, we'll see. But anyway, so we're gonna start with this to prime the face. I've already done my brows and I have primed my eyes with the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in cream. So that's already done. So we're just going to go in with the face primer. And ooh, this is actually very, like, this is a little bit, actually, I think creamier than the original one. So I guess it's a little bit more fragrant once you dip into it, but I don't know. People are like, oh, it's gonna smell like cookies and cream, that's gross. And I'm like, first of all, it's just a sugary scent. And second of all, it's not that bad. And it is a good primer. I've used up multiple of these, whether they were the original or the one with salicylic acid. I have a brand new one. of the green one ready to go next time. I just really like this primer. It's nice. So yeah, it just smells like cookies and cream ice cream. The face primer tends to be a little bit more creamy than the actual eye putty primer. I find that the eye primer gets very, very hard, and in the winter I use a brush to apply it just because I can't get, like, I can't warm it up. It's just like, it's too cold and I don't want to spend all that time doing that, so I just apply it with a brush. But the face primer is much, much creamier. So far so good. Just seems like the same primer with a little bit of a scent to it. I mean, it's not even that sweet. It's not like coconutty or anything. It's just kind of, it's not even really that vanilla-y. Maybe just a little milky. Anyway, so then the next thing for prep is the Cookies and Dream, what is this called? The Cookie Crumble Exfoliator. So this comes in the same type of packaging as the Hydrating Core Lip Shine. It's the one with the little heart in it, except this just doesn't have a heart in it. It's the same one as like the Electric Mood Tauve Low packaging, so it's the same. And then they're trying to do less packaging, which I appreciate, so more minimal packaging. I haven't actually opened this one yet, so we'll get to that. I've had so much of this stuff for so long, and I've just been not using it because I wanted to do it in this video. And I do like the original lip exfoliator. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. Same kind of smell. Again, it's not overly scented, and I don't see any of those little bits. So yeah, I did put on a lip oil earlier this morning, but that's kind of worn down a little bit, so I don't know. It's not, there's, like I said, there's not, I feel like this, I got a good amount, and I don't see little like black or white bits in here, so I'm guessing that it's kind of more along the lines of the lip exfoliator, the original one, with sort of the sugar crystals where they just kind of melt in your mouth. So, which is good for me. So, nice one. I know this one originally sold out with the first release, just like the eyeshadow palette, so people seem to responded to that. And then I have the 3-piece brush set here, the Cookies and Dream brush set. So you've got 3 brushes. You have sort of this all over blender crease, and then you have this more this one that's more of a flat shader, I guess, and then this one that's more of like almost a crease, but more of just, I don't know, they call them a flat shadow brush, an eye contour brush, and a blending brush. None of these seem to coordinate all that well with the way that they have them here, so I don't know. This one in the middle is pretty much the standard like e.l.f. blending brush. I have like 2 or 3 of them from different collections. So, but it's got the little Cookies and Cream plastic handle. I don't know if this is the type of printing that's actually going to last or if this is going to wipe away, but it's pretty much the same as like the Electric Mood, and I think also the Retro Paradise. They have plastic handles with the flat end. The Mint Melt collection from last year, I think, had more of the wooden or composite wooden handles with the round ends, but pretty much the same shape. And I have used this one. I've actually used all 3 of these, so I'm guessing this is what they call the contour brush. It's got a little bit of a, like, it's got a round head, but it's a little bit angled, so maybe that is the contour brush. Again, I've used that one. And then this is the flat shader one. This one is a little bit smaller than their normal flat shader. and it's got a little bit, it's a little bit taller, but not that much. So yeah, 3 very nice standard e.l.f. brushes. I like the e.l.f. brushes. I think they're nice for what they are. I believe this set was $9, so basically $3 each. It's the same price, I think, $6 or $7 as the other primers. Same with this, $6 or $7, same as like the hydrating core lip shines would be. So not that pricey even for like special packaging. And I really do like the sort of theme of this. I love the blue, just like the light blue is like my favorite color for wintry January, February, March looks. So I guess we will get to the eyeshadow palette. So finally I have the 8 color eyeshadow palette. So I have used this once so far, and I have also swatched it. Now the mattes are really nice and soft, and so are the shimmers. All these swatched really nicely. They built up. Not super pigmented, but you can build them up. And I did do an eye look the other day with the lighter blue shades here, so this shimmer and this matte, and I used a little bit of this deep blue right here shimmer as liner, and then I used a little bit of this and a little bit of this in the crease and a little bit of this in the crease. So yeah, I don't know, let's go with something a little bit deeper today, since I went a little bit lighter last time. So I'm going to start out with this deep brown shade in the crease. Just take it on this blender brush. And as you can see right off the bat, pretty pigmented for a nice brown shadow. It's a deep chocolatey brown. And then I'm going to take a bit of that lighter brown shade just to blend it out a bit. Same brush. Tone it down, blend it out. It seems to be playing nicely with the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I have only used this with the Ulta Matte Eye Primer, which is my primer of choice. However, these seem to be working pretty nicely, the mattes at least, over that e.l.f. Putty Primer. So that's about as deep as I want to go right now. So for the outer corner, I'm going to take this deep blue shimmer shade, and I'm going to take, I'm going to take this contour brush and see how that works. I've used this with the mattes before, but not with the shimmers, so we'll see how this applies on the outer part of the eye. And as you can see, that's some pretty good application for this type of shadow. Usually these sparkly blue shadows from the drugstore are kind of duds. But this one is actually pretty nice and easy to work with. And it's almost got like a purpley tint to it. That's the thing about the blues in here, is they have a very purpley periwinkle tone to them. Now just going in real lightly with my brush and picking up some product and putting it down. There is quite a bit of, in the pan, some chunky sparkle, but I think, as you can see, it's not that chunky on the eye. at least the way that I'm applying it, it doesn't seem to be. Like, I think you can definitely see shimmer in there, but not like huge glitter pieces. So I think that applied pretty nicely. We'll go in with this deeper, it's almost kind of duochrome, but it's not. It's like just a really nice light blue shimmer. And we're gonna put that on the center of the lid, taking that flat shader brush. And again, playing really nicely with the e.l.f. eye primer. Building up pretty nicely. It does have a translucency to it, so it's not, it is a bit buildable, but there is still that translucency where you can see the skin underneath. Usually this would be more like a topper shade with a lot of glitter that you can see, but this is more just like a sheer, definitely shimmer, but just more of a shimmer wash. And these are made also to go with the shadow sticks. I don't know if they're called shadow sticks, but I think the no budge sticks, something like that. There's 3 of those in this collection. I don't use cream sticks, so I didn't pick those up, but I know those are a combination of mattes and shimmers. Also, I know they have a matte shade that goes with this matte shade right here. So presumably you would put that down as a base and then this over it, and that would just sort of amp up that color. And again, I think you can see there is like almost a little bit of purpleness to it, periwinkleness. So very on trend with color of the year. Take a bit of this. This is sort of this highlightery shimmer, and I'm just to take that on a pinky. Now this is more like almost satiny. Like, it's not sparkle sparkle. It's more of like a nice highlightery kind of, I don't even know if you can see that. Just a nice highlightery type of shade. So I'm going to put that in the inner corner. As you can see, no chunkiness to it, no big pieces of glitter, but it does seem to go with that blue color quite nicely. It's got a very like silky look to it. And then I'm going to take a little liner brush and I'm going to go into the black. Now this does have a little bit of sparkle in it. There's almost a blue sparkle. You don't really see it. It's not an overspray, but it almost sort of disappears like an overspray. But this shade is also very soft. Just the outer part of the lower lash, or sorry, the lash line. As you can see, I got a little bit of fallout from loading up my brush. Again, this shade is incredibly soft. Just giving that a bit of smokiness. And then I'm going to go back into that blue color with the same brush and just run it a little bit under my lash line here. Not even to the middle of the lash line, just right on the outside. And then to be able to use all the shades, I'm just going to take this creamy shade right here and just run along the brow bone with this blending brush. The shade is not super pigmented. It is soft. So that is the eye look. I'm going to go clean off this part, do some complexion products, and I will be back. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. To do my complexion, my foundation, and my concealer, I use the e.l.f. Cookies and Dream, what is this called? Just a Scoop something, single scoop sponge. So I'll put up a little video here showing the difference between this and the regular e.l.f. sponge. Now the regular e.l.f. sponge is one of my favorites, so soft and nice, and this is pretty much the same thing. It's just got a little bit different shape to go with the sort of ice cream theme, so it's got a rounded end instead of the flat end, but it's still nice and soft. Reminds me a little bit of the Sonia Kashuk. I think that one's a little bit firmer, the one that you can get from Target. So I will show you applying some of the cream products on my face. I use the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush, the samples that I got from my last Sephora order. So I use the one in Tiara as my highlighter, and I will show you applying that. It's a really beautiful goldeny shimmery color. And I also use the color Bread and Butter on my cheeks. As you can see, those blend out really nicely. They go on incredibly pigmented, but they do blend out really nicely. So that is a more pinky shade that I have on my cheeks. And then I finished that off with the Physicians Formula Butter Cake Bronzer. This is the one with a bit of shimmer in it, a little bit more pigmented than some of the other ones in the Cheat Day collection. So use that one. And then on my lips, I use the Vision Flush in the color Ballet Slippers. That is the more orangey shade on my lips. So first time I've used this as a lip color. I have tried the cheek colors before in another video, and I've tried the highlighter before. So really impressed with the way these cream products work. I don't think I'm going to switch to cream products, but I enjoy Danessa Myricks as a brand, so I wanted to use some of that today instead of just, you know, the same old, same old. And also for my lashes, I use the e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara. I like it. It's very wet, doesn't dry down very quickly, does transfer, so it's not the kind of mascara that I would use if I was going to work, because that would be disastrous. But for just having it on for a video or for a few hours is fine. So that is the Cookies and Dream collection, with the exception of the sponge, which is wet, so I put it over there. But these are all the products that I got. Picked up 5 products. So I do like the Putty primer. As always, it doesn't seem to smell overly much. Seem to like this, just kind of is like the other lip exfoliators in their line, and just different packaging. And like I said, it just kind of melts. The bits that you feel that are exfoliating just kind of melt and disappear onto your lips. And then this, you know, cute basic little brush set, very handy. And then the eyeshadow palette, so very nice. It leans a bit purple periwinkle, I think. I prefer a little bit of a more true blue, like something like this in the Triumph of Venus palette from Kyla Beauty. So like these colors that don't lean, they lean a little bit periwinkle, but they don't lean as purpley. So I think I would have liked something a little bit more true blue, but I mean, it works. It works. And it's very on trend with the color of the year, so, you know. But it's a little less pastel blue and a little bit more pastel purple, I think. So, but they all seem to work really well, build really well, stay really well. And, you know, for a drugstore deep blue shimmer, I've had so many duds that are just so dry and don't work and don't apply, and this one actually does. So that is a win for me, and it came not broken this time, so that's great. And that's about all I can ask for right now. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how I got this look and enjoyed seeing the pieces from this collection. Let me know if you got anything from this collection. Let me know how you feel about e.l.f. cosmetics in general. I love a lot of things from e.l.f. I especially love their skincare, their sponges, their primers, a lot of base products, and I do like quite a few of their complexion products. Don't love everything, but I do think they're a very reliable drugstore brand that's pretty cheap. Inexpensive, sorry. Okay guys, well thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All of those would be welcome, and any of them would be appreciated. If that's how I normally say it, I don't remember. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.